Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So, today we'll be looking on how to use a web app or a service called Clockify, which helps us track our time, and it actually helps us understand and get a better overview of how much time are we actually working compared to what we plan. So, whether you're a student, you work, or you're an entrepreneur who probably wants to work on his business, it literally applies to anyone in life. Uh, there are some things, some works, and some high priority stuff that we do every day. And for students, it can be studying, and for entrepreneurs, it can be working on a business, working on a plan. For graphic designers, it can be probably working for a client. So whatever, no matter whatever field you're in, you always need. There's a key part of productivity to know how much time you're actually putting to whatever work you are doing. Now, what happens with traditional timetables and schedules is that you schedule a time, you block a time on your timetable, and now you're not sure whether some emergency comes up and you have to, ditch that. And you don't know how many times you'll go and drink water probably, and you don't know probably, you start procrastinating and scrolling social media. So in order to actually make ourselves accountable of what we're actually doing, uh, I figured out this way that you use both a schedule and a time tracker. So that way, you know the difference between how much you are scheduling your work or study and how much you're actually doing it. And that can help you know that the gap between those two and help you identify on your actual productivity level and actual efficiency or effectiveness. So this was the basic overview. In more videos, we'll be talking more about time and scheduling systems. But basically, why we're using this software is to track the time in actuality of how much we're actually doing things, instead of that imagination and that level of uncertainty that whether we'll follow a timetable or not, because it's fixed. But time trackers such as Clockify, I'm telling you right now, it's not fixed. It helps you track time exactly to the single second you start work and the second you end work. It's that much accurate, and that's why it's useful. So, without any delay, let's move on. So before I move on to actually show you how to make your own account on Clockify, first let me show you my own Clockify, which I'm using since almost a month. So as you can see here, I have a list of all the work I have done today, yesterday, and before. And currently, as you can see, I'm working on my video. So for my personal brand, obviously, as I consider my YouTube channel as a personal brand, we'll have a video on that as well later. But for now, just see that I'm currently tracking the exact time I'm working on this video. And as you can see, I've also worked on the script before, so I have the time for that as well. So the purpose of to show you this was actually to tell you that it actually helps me and literally anyone who uses it to know exactly how much time I have given to each thing. Now, if I move on to calendar, there's literally no need for me to schedule any task here. It literally tells me at what time I have done what thing. So as you can see, from Monday to currently it's Friday on August 11th, it literally tells me that this time I did this, and this. And as you can see in the entire timetable, it's scattered all the times I have tracked, and it actually gives me a visual representation, and it helps me compare to my actual timetable. So if you have an actual timetable scheduled before, you can compare this timetable to that and see how much are you actually following it. Now, if you move on to dashboard in under the analyze section, you can literally see a pie chart of how much time, how much percentage of the work you've done. Here's a list of all the tasks you've done, and here you have a bar chart which tells you the amount of work you have done every day and how much on which thing. Now, this is only filtered for this week. If I move on and do this to this month, it tells me all the dates and weeks I've done the work on in this month. So it also tells me the total time, the top project I've been working on, and the color coding literally tells me of how much work I've done, and the pie chart again shows the representation of the percentage. Now, if I go on to this year, it can tell me the time of my year as well, and divided by the number of months, I can know how much of total time I've actually worked this year. And again, a simple representation in a list, a pie chart, and a bar graph. Now, this can help me understand the nature of my work. Now, if I just go and see last week, so I can see that on Monday I did not do a lot of work, which is actually kind of against the convention. But yeah, I know that I have done less work on Monday, and on Tuesday I worked a lot. but then on Wednesday it lessened, and then more less again, and then high, and then low, and the high. So this helps me get a trend of the days I'm not feeling like working and the days I'm working a lot. And this week, using this representation, I've been able to work more consistently. And as you can see, it's around the 4 to 5 hour mark. And today, by the time I've ended this video, I'm sure this will be 4 hours as well. So this literally is an actual example that tells you that I have been really improving myself by the use of the software, because it gives me a better insight to actual time I'm giving to my work. Now, if I go to reports, I can have a more detailed summary. However, I'd recommend to stick by the dashboard only, as this gives a better overview, and reports, it's just more advanced. So I don't recommend you to go here, but for now, just stick to the actual time tracker, the calendar, and the dashboard. In projects, you can make new projects of on whatever you do, like the different areas that you work on. I do not use Steam. It's basically for businesses. So we're currently working on our self-improvement and personal time tracking, so we'll not be looking at that. And under projects, you can create tasks of whatever work you're doing. So we'll be looking at that as well when we create our own account. So this was my personal Clockify. Now let's move on the actual tutorial of how to make your account on Clockify. So let's move on. Now, as you can see, I have switched to another browser, and here we have gone to this link, which is app.clockify.me/login. So I have provided this link in the description. You can go ahead and click that and follow the steps along this video. And if you cannot do that right now, then sure, you can save the link for later and make an account later. So here in the login page, we can enter our details if we have already made an account, but as we don't have an account yet, so we'll just go on this button here, which is sign up, and then we'll be entering our email, password, and agreeing to the terms. Now, a quick way is to continue with Google, which is kind of more handy and helps us better, but I'll just be going with the email and password thing. So I'll be entering my email here. And then I'll be writing a random password, and I'll be creating a free account. Now it will lead me to this page, which is the new dash onboarding page of the Clockify. Once you have made an account, you'll be seeing exactly this thing. Now, as you can see, it's showing me that here I can type what I'm working on, and here I can categorize which thing I'm working on. So a good practice is to go to this projects tab first under the manage section. So we go to projects, and we can create as many divisions of our time as we want. So let's say, for example, you want to track your time for studies. So instead of just writing study and tracking time, you can let's take my example. I'm giving my A levels, and I have 5 subjects. So I'll write A level chemistry, for example, and I'll choose a relevant color, and then I'll be turning this to private because we want this to be our own timetable, not others. And we can leave these 2 blank as they do not relate to us. Now I've just written this category, and I've chosen the color, and I can click on create. Now I have this category here. Now I can create a new project about, let's say, A-level computer science, and I've created this project. Now I can create another project. Let's say, for example, I'm working on my YouTube channel. So I'll just color code this, and I'll write YouTube channel. And I can create this project as well. Now I have set that to public. I'm not changing that to private just because I'm giving you an example, but it's literally your choice, whatever you choose. But I choose private because we do not want others to see, in case later when you have a team, you want to see your own time according to yourself, and not, tell others about it. But it totally depends on your choice. So no need to worry about that. Now that we have made 3 projects, just for example, we can go to time tracker and say, let's say we're doing past paper practice for chemistry. So instead of writing chemistry here, we can just go to the button here, which is of project, and we can create a new task for chemistry. So this task will be added to chemistry, which is past paper practice. So I'll just not create a task for now. I'll just click on the chemistry, and I'll start the timer. Now I can start the timer at exact time when I'm starting my study, and let's say for example I'm feeling thirsty, I want to drink water, I can stop the timer and then restart it again. So let's say for example now I'm going to drink water, I can click on stop, and when I'm back I'll click on this play button again, so it will continue to track my time from there. So the reason of telling you this and this accuracy, it helps us actually track how much time we're actually putting to useful work. And it really helps us to understand the actual nature of how much productive we are, instead of a basic. And it's kind of being honest with yourself and getting to know the actual gap between your planned time and your actual time going to work. And then you can, if you see your gap is a lot, then you can, work on productivity tips which we'll be learning in other videos to help counter that and overcome. Now, now that you know the basic functionality is quite easy to understand, you can just create more projects, as many projects as you want, or as you want from, you can say your subjects. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, so you can categorize your businesses here. If you're working on a job, you can categorize your tasks here. And if you want to further categorize these, you can just, go ahead and create a task under each of these projects. So here in the task section, you can just write a new task. Let's say in computer science, I want to have on the division of tasks for past papers, and I can add that here. Let's say I'm studying just from the book, I can add that here. So you can further categorize your categories like that. And then we are done with this. You can just, go ahead on this main page and track your time. As for the calendar, it will tell you the time you have worked on. I can just zoom in to know what I'm working on here. It's not much visible because obviously it's about 30 to 40 seconds, but obviously you'll be studying for more than that, for an hour or so. So just like I showed you mine here. For example, you can go to the calendar. So as you can see, it will be showing obviously if you'll be working for longer than that. Now on the dashboard, I can see that I have worked this much time on this, and if you compare that to mine, as many projects you add, as many time you track, you will know a more detailed guide and more detailed insight and whatever you do. So that was it for this video, and congratulations. So now you know how to use Clockify and how to utilize the tools inside it to actually help you understand the exact level of work you're doing and compare the gap between your actual schedule or timetable and the actual work you're doing, so that you know the level of productivity, the percentage of productivity you have in your work, and you can adjust that according to whatever results you have. So in the upcoming videos, we'll be looking at how to actually identify this gap between your timetable and the actual time you track using Clockify. And we'll use that to learn some productivity techniques on how to improve your percentage and improve your level of working and completely eliminate procrastination or any other problems or distractions you may face at work. So thank you for watching the video. See you then.